now that I just do them all the time, it's like doesn't feel like
nature.
Like it really isn't. It really is.
I've
just,
never done one, so that's my first.
This is your first time taking your
first
podcast virginity right now.
Yeah.
All right, well, Derek Frey, welcome to BOPCAST, man.
What's up, man? How are you?
Yeah, great,
Thanks
brother. Great,
me.
and we just had a day.
That was a great
and
day.
we have to pour some wine for this day. And so basically, I don't know. While I'm pouring the wine, just let them know what we did today.
So, if you guys watch Gary Vee, which you all should, you sign up for his text platform, and he sends like mass text messages out to people. So I got a text yesterday from Gary saying that he's going to be at his father's liquor store in Springfield, just doing like meet and greet and helping us pick out wine. That's some of the wine he helped us pick out.
Yeah.
So we went down to his liquor store and met Gary Vee today. So that was a good inspiration.
So this is my first time drinking after 4 weeks off. So might get sloshed off one sip of wine. But yeah, man, we just saw it was honestly like that was dope. That was cool. That was awesome. Like just to like put like you said before, like you just said before we started, to put the face to the name in person rather than just have it just watching all his videos online. Right. To actually meet the guy and to also meet him twice basically in one day. And to be able to ask him a question and for us to like probably know the answer to the question, but like just have to hear it anyway.
Well, that's what he does. He repeats himself, over and over again, and people complain about him repeating himself, but he does it on purpose to really drill all his wisdom just into your head, and he's really onto something, and he's always historically correct as he says, and just follow what he says and go from there.
I mean, like, he just said the same thing about Vine as he's saying about TikTok now. Like, it's crazy because if you watch one of his videos where he literally just replaces the word Vine with the word TikTok, and then it's completely accurate, it is just so, it blows my mind completely. So, yeah, it was a crazy experience. It was a great experience. Definitely I thought that I had we both thought that we had unique questions, and then he was just like, oh, wait up, all the answers are out there already, and I've already said this. So it was like, it was cool. It was good. It was what we needed, because if we went there and he told us what we thought we needed to hear, then there would be no point to it.
Right.
Or if we just had him sign a book and we walked away. Like, I think it was good that we went back and asked a question, and, he thanked us for being patient and shit, so that was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. And thanks for hitting me up about that. That was dope.
No problem.
Wouldn't have been there without you.
That was sick.
It's mandatory. And so we saw Gary Vee, but otherwise, and we might get into more of that. But tell people what you do. Explain your business, and man, like, what do you do? What have you been doing for the last 4, 5, 6 years with this business?
So I went from the very beginning. Me and Sully and I. Went to high school together. He was a year younger than me. Played soccer together. That was always a good time. Did that. Then I started my detailing company with me and my 2 other friends at about 16, 17 years old. I worked as a custodian at my local middle school doing that. Got sick of it. Like I said, we started it. It was solely off of, like what Gary says, Facebook, social media. So we started solely off of Facebook.
Because you could basically make a business for free.
It was dead free. Yeah. We didn't spend a cent. I didn't start spending money on marketing up until I started listening to Gary 2 months ago.
Profitable from day one.
Profitable since day one.
Because you didn't have to rry on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like there was this local page called Ladies of Hunter County, and there's about 15,000 members in it, and it's all just like the women in Hunter County just saying like, hey, who's a good roofer? Who's a good, plumber? You have recommendations for this? For sure. So it started off of that. Me and my friends, we were like these cute, like 16, 17-year-old kids come to your house.
Like innocent, just like ready to wash your car.
Oh, it's so cool. We'll come to your house, wash your car for $50, $100. So it kind of grew from there. Then my 2 friends, Joe and Matt, they dropped out. They both went to school. It just wasn't for them.
Sure.
It's cool. So I went to RV. They both went away.
Which is a community college for people who don't know. I went there too for 2 years. Yep.
So I stuck with it and kept running with it since then. So I would do that old-fashioned hustle grind shit that Gary talks about. Like I'd wait in parking lots at like Walmart and Flemington, Clinton, like all around Hunterdon, just waiting for like a BMW or a Porsche or something to pull in and like go approach people at at like these
Did
places
you
in these parking lots.
like have your card with? Would
Yeah,
you
I
just
had my
hand them a
card.
card and give them a spiel? Like,
Yeah.
were there some people who were like really turned off by
There were
it?
some people like I'd be waiting in my car and like I just like kind of make it
like you're just walking in.
yeah, exactly. Like I'm just like walking in like, oh, it's a nice car. Like here's my card, and like some people would like see it like no, I'm soliciting, and they just like I've had people flip me off and just like walk away, and just not give me any time of the day. But like I'd push that.
Did some people think it was cool though? Like did some people embrace it a little bit, or like was
Not
it mostly
really.
turned off? Like
It was mainly no's than a lot of yeses.
But that's such good practice. I feel like for
it
business
is. It is.
for sales.
You just gotta. You can't be scared. You just gotta go for it, man. And then I go to like auto body shops because a lot of people sometimes will mix up detailing auto body. So I go to like auto body shops, garages.
Or some auto body shops say they do it, but they don't really do it.
Yeah,
like, they don't want to.
They'll outsource it.
Yeah,
Same thing with like
yeah.
they'll do like window repair and stuff.
Windshields.
They'll outsource it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, windshields, sure.
Yeah, so I would do that. And then again, the Facebook thing is free and like just word of mouth on Facebook. Let your customers be your advertisement and your marketing.
Let the word of mouth do its thing too. Right?
Yeah. So like I did that like when I was younger and I started like I just you really shouldn't do it, but I faked it till I made it. Like I made all my stuff look really good. Like I made my logo look good, made all my pages like look really professional. Website built really nicely.
If you're gonna fake, like that's not even faking it. That's just having nice quality.
Yeah,
like
that's true. Good point.
Yeah, but like you basically want to be in the position where people pull up and they don't expect you to be a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Kid back then.
Yeah.
So you kind of
Exactly.
that was important to you, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So then from high school I went on to RV, like I said, studied business admin there. Would work before class, after class. Then I moved on to Centenary University for my 4-year degree. Got a bachelor's in finance. So every weekend, I'd miss the parties, miss all the camaraderie and fun. Come home every weekend and just work my butt off till, just to make it, And then graduated in May, like I said. And I lasted 3 days as a financial advisor for Mass Mutual. It's for some people works for me. I couldn't do the cold calling, that whole thing. And I really don't see myself being able to work for somebody really.
But you had worked for people before, right? Or...
Yeah, like I did like I said, I was a janitor, and then I worked for like Ford down in Flemington as a detailer.
So did you just like kind of feel that when you were at those? Like that's just a common theme that I see with entrepreneurs in general, is that they kind of feel like they know that they're not.
It's just like
it's just like, oh, I can't just be making money for these people, really. Like,
yeah, that's the thing is like I was working like down in Ford making like $10 an hour detailing, and I'm like, fuck, like I could be making so much more than this, but like I was doing it for experience, and I learned a lot. My boss Jose on Edge Detailing, shout out to him.
Shout out Jose.
Good dude. He really taught me a lot. Detailing, how to like working at dealers like totally different than like what I'm doing. Like dealerships, you get like what $70 a car. Like for a full detail, it'll take you 5 hours to do. So you gotta be able to do it fast and efficiently and do a good job. So you learn a lot of like tricks on how to work efficiently.
It's like being a mechanic at a dealer's is different than being a mechanic on your own or at a mom and pop shop.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So you kind of got that back. You had both. So you realized, oh shit, nah, this is it. This is like me working for myself makes so much more sense than.
I just love it.
And also, but I feel like this, it wasn't lucky. Like I feel like I don't think it was luck. I think it was just because you had the skill, but you weren't at a point where you made the business and then had to figure out how it's gonna run. You kind of basically once the ball started rolling, it didn't stop.
Yeah, like some people are naturally good at like basketball and sports and stuff. Like I played soccer with you. I wasn't the best soccer player.
Yeah, me either. Bro.
I wasn't good at.
I just played it to play.
But like you see these guys like go on, you're like, holy shit, how are they so good?
Yeah.
Like being like an entrepreneur is like kind of this natural thing, like where it just comes and like it's business is so simple. Like people just like over.
Well, it's easier to complicate.
Exactly.
Things,
Like your cash in can't be more than your cash out. Like
Yeah.
it's literally that. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like cash in can't be more than cash out.
Yeah.
That's literally
Business,
it.
baby.
It's business to one sentence. That's it. And like just acquiring customers and listening to Gary, he's brought like a whole perspective on how to run a business in 2019, 2020.
Yep.
Where it's all social media based. He said like he started with like email blasting, and then it like worked its way up from like email blasting to stuff like Facebook,
and then YouTube too was huge in the beginning. Yep.
So like people's attention keep moving from platform to platform. So like you got to day trade attention and see like where the audience is.
Like, shit is it's the realness, man. Because people are in a different mindset. Like it's like I'm not in the same mindset on Instagram that I am on Twitter, or that I am on Facebook, or that I am on LinkedIn. Because it's a different platform. I'm on there for different reasons. Yeah. So you can't expect to post the same thing. Like, listen, we're not fucking Gary Vee. We can't post the same thing and expect. And he posts different things too. But like he could probably post the same thing on 4 platforms and get like great response, right? But like, as people who are small time, if you have like me, 1,000 followers, 1,400 or whatever, 2,000, 5,000 even, like you have to be able to adapt. Yeah. And so you started to realize that when you were watching him. Right?
Yeah, you got to keep moving. Get ready for the next platform. Like people would shit on Facebook, be like, "Yo, that's only for kids. It's only for college kids." Nothing happened.
It used to be. Now it's for old people.
Yeah, like 2016, like that's like when like 2014, I don't know. 2016, I think, is when like we first started like moving into Facebook and started the company like legally, and that was the older crowd moving in there, and then like people moved out of that, and now you see the older generation, our parents, moving into stuff like Instagram, and then we're getting pushed out of that, and people are shitting all over TikTok saying like, oh, it's for 16-year-old girls.
And then that girl that comes up to us today that literally just posted a video of her playing piano and got 100,000 on TikTok. Like it's just not, there isn't a fucking formula for that shit. Like whatever is the newest thing is gonna have the best way for you to pop. Like you're gonna pop the easiest, right? Like so hop on the new
it's
shit.
The organic reach.
Yeah,
where you spend that's
literally
money.
what he said to us right as we were walking away, or like at the end of your conversation. I think it was like, it's fucking free, bitch. Like LinkedIn and TikTok, right? Like or whatever.
Yeah, and that's what he emphasized in all his podcasts. But like like the example I first gave, like how I started my business for free. I mean, swear to God, $0 spent ever on marketing or acquiring any customers. It was free on Facebook just because the organic reach was insane. So, I'm trying to day trade attention and find out where the next platform is going to be to where I can do the same exact thing and replicate it. It's not complex. You keep doing what history repeats itself. So you just keep moving on and on and on to the next platform.
So what's your plan? Are you going to make content now, or are you going to...
This is gonna be like one of my first pieces of like real content. I've started trying to take like selfie videos talking and stuff, but I would like to start a podcast and eventually like this.
You should, like you said, in showcase businesses or
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I deal with a lot of local business owners.
Too, like
talk about soap.
Have detailers on from like other parts of the country that are just that you can talk about, just shoot the shit with, that are like have 5,000 followers, and that guy. Somebody's following him who has 100,000 is like, oh, I want to be on
Detailing's hot right now. Like you got a lot of companies that are like a company called Chemical Guys. They're like, they're like huge, like not the best products or anything, but like they're just really good at marketing, and that's what they do best. Like they got like all the soap that smells really good, and like all these logos that smell really good, or look really good. Sorry, and yeah.
So you should be basically like follow. Yeah, Chemical Guys killed it. Bang Energy is one that I always bring up because Bang Energy has been around for 5 or 6 years and nobody knows because they just know now because their workout buddy's been drinking Bang Energies for like 3 years. Right. But now their Instagram is popping. Like one of the companies I work for and somebody I just interviewed. His name's Mike Anderson. By the time this comes out, that interview will probably be out. And we do some marketing for Bang and. It's crazy because like they just have a ton of girls on their Instagram. It's like honestly though, like, and the product is amazing. You can't have like Chemical Guys. They might not be the highest quality, but like you can still use their products to detail your car, right? So you can still use Bang Energy as an energy drink. It might not be the top of the line. But like at least, but the marketing really does, kind of determine your spot in the industry. Like you can have the best, like we were talking about music in the car today of like, yeah, you want to have the best quality songs, right? But like if you can have the best quality songs, then nobody can listen to them.
Yeah.
So it's about who you get to listen to it.
Right.
That's why I spend like around like $150 a month. I try on marketing, even for the music. And I just started doing that because I was literally selling marketing to people and then not marketing myself because I was like, oh, I don't know where they want the music to go and I don't know what's going to happen with it. But now I'm like, nope, I literally will go broke marketing my shit because I know that the ROI on that later is so much crazy, and we're so crazy, and we're going to probably get into that too of like how hard is it to fucking be patient with this shit. Like
it's tough. It's really hard to be patient, like that's like going back to Gary, is he teaches patience. Like I always used to be worried about like I'm not hitting my numbers this week, like of what I should be making, but like I'm not gonna chase money anymore. I'm gonna let the money just flow and come to me.
Value, baby. That's it.
I'm not gonna rip people off. Not gonna price gouge people, and like add value to my customers. I had a shop. I got into like a physical location like last year. I moved out like a month and a half ago, and I used to do the mobile thing, like going to people's homes. I stopped that for the year while I was in the shop, and I regret that. It was so selfish. It was really selfish to me. I wasn't providing value to customers because customers, like, people are lazy. People are really lazy nowadays. They want you to come to them, and like that's the best value you could provide people is like their time. That's what people really want now is their time. Everything done quick, So like that's why I'm back to the mobile, and I'm gonna run that strong, and that's my business strategy. People keep asking, when are you gonna get a shop? When are you gonna get a shop? That's not my business strategy. There's no value to the customer there. There's a million other car washes or detailers that you could bring your cars to, but there's nobody that really comes to you as much, and I
don't know any other
great.
company that does it.
No.
Honestly, that'll go to you. I think it's so. What all you have to have is a hose.
Hose and electrical outlet. I got water in my truck. Got generator in my truck if need be. If I don't feel like running the generator or whatever, burning gas. Customers have all that stuff. It's great. So
you're ready to go. Like
I'm ready to go. I'll pull up a parking lot. You work at like Johnson & Johnson, whatever, in Bridgewater. I'll do it right in the parking lot. So
be like, yo, what's this kid doing?
Exactly.
And then somebody else is gonna walk over to you with the fucking McLaren, right? Like the fucking CPO of the company or something.
Yeah,
like, just
exactly.
walk up, hey, what are you doing?
Exactly. Or even like golf courses too. Like that's another market I got to get into. Like you go play 18 holes, come back, your Jag, your Ferrari's all clean.
I'm mad. Oh, dude, you just the ROI on that seems insane. Just because of the price, or because of not the price, because of the experience. Because the experience of going to do what you want to do and coming back in your car.
And it benefits everybody.
Beautiful.
It benefits the golf course by having, like, hey, there's like a guy here, like we'll go play golf, and I'll get my car washed at the same time. Like what other golf course does that?
Exactly.
And the customer comes back with a squeaky clean car. After they're done playing.
Do you do like shows or anything? Do you do like trade shows or whatever, or things where you can like set up a tent and like a booth or thing like that? Like, are you doing physical?
No.
I think you should look into it. I don't know. Obviously I don't know the market of detailers, but like I feel like physical is also good. But the thing is the time thing also. You got to sit there for a day and how many
I'd rather spend $1,000 on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter.
Because the amount of people that you can get.
You could reach so many people more rather than sitting at a car show hoping someone's going to come.
That's what I was going to... Yeah, car show, yeah.
Come and
You're
talk
right.
to you.
You're right. I'm wrong, I think, because that's what everybody's going to do. That's the easy thing to do.
Well, that's what everyone thinks. That's old school.
Like
that's not 2019, 2020
That's not Gary Vee shit, bro. I got to eat my words here.
Like, there's so many guys that just don't fucking get it. Like...
Well, do you think that you're in a unique position because you're young? Are a lot of detailers older, or
a lot of the guys in the car industry are really they're old. Like it's like the age demographic for like cars is kind of like phasing out. I feel like it's a lot of older people, but like a lot of the older guys in the industry just don't get it. They'll like. They're still like on like their corny website hasn't been updated for 15 20 years.
2007.
Exactly.
Yep.
But they just don't get it. They see you like filming. They're like, why are you filming these cars?
Because if young people are your customers at all, you have to cater to them.
Yeah.
Because you have to cater to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And if you cater to a younger crowd,
Mm-hmm.
meaning have a dope Instagram, have a dope website,
Mm-hmm.
have a dope Facebook page,
Mm-hmm.
the older people are going to say, oh, this is so, like, new age. Like, this is so nice and, like, new.
Yeah.
You know? Like, so you're not... There is no downside.
Yeah.
But if you have an old-ass website,
Mm-hmm.
older people will be like, oh, it's just a website. Like, they might not judge you on it.
Mm-hmm.
But then the younger people are judging you on
Mm-hmm.
it. So,
Well, that's
100%.
the thing. Everyone dies one day.
Yeah.
People are gonna die. Like, you can't keep doing this old-fashioned way of business. Like, you know, like you go to like a diner and it's like the printout of like on the placemat. It's like the advertisements. I mean, that works.
Yep. It works for the concrete company, bro.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like the way you market and everything now is so different.
24-year-olds aren't buying concrete.
No.
You know, 57-year-olds are buying concrete for the most part. Like,
no, people like when they go to a diner, they like if we went out to dinner, or somebody like two people went out to dinner, half the time they're playing on the fucking phone anyway. They're not looking at the placemat.
The attention, right? It goes back to the attention. Where's it at?
Yeah.
It's not on the TV.
Yeah.
We're not watching commercials, bro. We're looking at our phones.
Yeah,
we're looking at other people doing things. So then that's why you have the Instagram.
Regular cable isn't a thing anymore.
No,
you know,
I don't have that.
Like people go on Netflix, YouTube, and whatever. Don't have to watch 10 minutes of advertisements to watch what
you're
they
in a
wanna
unique
watch.
position because you are younger, but you actually can't. Like, you're targeting an older demographic, right? Because like most of the people who have these cars are not 24 years old, right?
Yeah, and that's the tough thing is trying to reach that demographic. Like some of these older people, like with these cars, because like when they have like a set guy, they'll like keep going to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to like I deal with like really high value cars sometimes, like $500,000, $1 million cars. So like once they got a guy, and they're not going to switch. And it's in the car industry, it's a lot of like word of mouth, like, hey, this guy did a really good job on my car. Why don't you should come use him if you want to switch a detailer. Yep. So like that demographic and that like customer base is it's pretty tough to reach. Like I'm talking about the exotics and stuff like that. So
and is that what you're going for? Are you trying to?
I was in that when I was in my location, my physical location. Like that's all I was doing was the exotics.
Lotuses and
the Ferraris and whatever McLarens, Aston Martins. But at the end of the day, money's money. It doesn't matter if you do a Honda Civic or a Ferrari 458
or whatever it might be. Yeah.
Money's money. The car brings them like the exotics will bring more.
See, that's what he said too to you is you got to detail more fucking car, right? Like
for
real.
Yeah,
and that's what you're saying right now. Like, you're speaking because you live that shit because you realize like it's not like you say, oh, I did one Ferrari and now I don't do Toyotas anymore.
Yeah.
Like that's
you can't
not
be like
the
that.
fucking
then
game.
you just sound like egotistical.
Yeah.
And just like an asshole.
I think we should also like if you could touch on what you told me earlier of like how you like about my content and then how like you're kind of
I was telling
switch.
Sully earlier, like I used to watch his content like probably last year or so. I was with like one of my friends, we'd be like, what the fuck's Sully doing? Like this is like I'm sick of seeing like Sully Bop and like his podcast. Who gives a shit? Like this is just so annoying. And I started listening to Gary Vee and I'm like, Sully's on to something. Like he's not doing it to be egotistical or be like look at me or for the gram. He's doing it to promote himself, and this is the way of business now is content on all platforms. So
I just thought that was so interesting that like you were like because
I was hating on you. I was really hating on you. This is like fucking annoying. I'm unfollowing Sully. I'm sick of seeing all his posts. I post like 5 times a day. But Gary says, you can't post too much. Yeah. But like we talked about like today, this one lady was just like walking around.
Dude, you can post. I mean, if you post 100 stories, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. Basically, like don't do that. Yeah. But yeah, you really can't though because there's so much. Like if you have an Instagram, you're following hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah.
So you're not going to even. If I put out 5 Instagram actual posts, like you're only going to see 1 or 2 of them probably in a day, unless you're really addicted to Instagram. But yeah, man, I thought that was so cool that you said that. Like just like instant respect. Like I had respect for you anyway because of the business and stuff. But like like we hadn't fucking talked, like we've never talked like this before.
No.
Like, and I just knew who you were. Like, we had we kind of knew each other, but that was about it. And like followed your music and stuff a little bit, and you mine. But like I was like that was just mad respect in that moment. And I don't say that to make people to like try to convince people that what I'm doing is like the right thing.
Yeah.
I say it because you should always like you're setting an example saying that. Like you're being honest, and I've done that with so many people. I've unfollowed so many people that I said like, oh, they're just putting out content to like just get somewhere. Like they're trying to better their brand and build themselves. They're not trying to build their ego. They're trying to build their brand.
Right.
Like you have to separate. Like for me as an artist, like Sully Bop is not me. It's a company. It's a business. It's an artist.
And I'm
not the artist.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, like my personality, I don't identify with. And like I always did, and I do, you know, like it's a really hard thing.
Right.
Like your business is a separate person. It's not Derek Frey. It's Precision Care Detailing. It's not your name. So like as an artist, I think it's important to note that you have to do that too. You have to say if people hate on my music or don't like it or whatever, and like you're completely justified. I do post a lot, you know. But that's a separate thing. You're hating on the thing.
Yeah.
They're not hating on you.
Yeah.
They like if we had a conversation the next day that you said that, we would have been cool. We would adapt each other up. What's good, bro, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing I didn't get is, you know, they're like two separate entities, but at the same time they're not, you know, like your personal brand or like
it relies on me.
Yeah, like your personal brand, yeah.
But like I think what I'm saying is in your head you have to separate it. You don't have to separate it online. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And I talk to multi-millionaires, man, like people who have invested in over 150 different companies, who invest in, you know, 10 companies a year, you know, for 20 years. And like and I'm like, oh, these are just regular people, man. Like it's like we have this perception of people on and like I used to get nervous talking to them, you know, and it's like, why am I getting nervous just because they have a lot of money? Like it just makes no sense. And so like that's the thing on Instagram too, is like I know models, I know artists, I know rappers who have the followers and the following, and they have all the clout, and they have all the business, and they have all the shit, right? And their personal lives are fucking destruction. Are literally construction zone. Like you couldn't make that shit up. Yeah. Right? And from the outside, like I've had people say, oh, from the outside, like her page looks so normal. It looks so good. She's doing so well. And we get into this bullshit of like we think that's it.
Dude, that's like the thing nowadays is like people literally go on a fucking hike. They'll go on a hike just to get that picture of like the mountain, or they'll wake up at 5 a.m. at the shore just to get that fucking sunrise picture. Or people do things just to post. Or like I know families that are a mess, and they'll like take pictures at every family party all smiling happy. When they're not.
It's like the Step Brothers, Family and Step Brothers, right? Like if they're singing in the car, but nobody fucking keeps a fuck, right?
Yeah. Or like they'll take pictures and post on Instagram like, oh, look how happy you are. Or like in relationships, people will post pictures just to post pictures for no reason, just to see like, oh, we're so happy together. But then like behind closed doors, you're a mess. You're
and you've probably worked for miserable millionaires before. Like you've probably worked, like have you ever worked for somebody who detailed your car who was like kind of just not like, because I don't know. I've seen people, maybe you don't have an example of this, but I've seen people like who are just assholes, and like I'm driving a Honda Accord and I'm happier than them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, money doesn't bring happiness.
Not at all.
I'm not sure.
I guess that's what I'm getting.
It helps
to.
sometimes.
Maybe I'm not saying everybody's I'm not saying tell me all the examples of people being assholes, but like, especially in this culture, we get caught up in that shit of like, if you have the fucking things, then the things are you.
Dude, like people buy shit just to flex. Like there's people out there rolling around, like you see all the kids in Hunter County, like with these $80,000, $90,000 trucks with $5,000 set of wheels on it, and they're in debt over their ass. They can't afford any of this stuff. They're doing it just to like flex on the next guy, you know, where it's mom and dad's money, you know. And I could happily say my parents haven't given me a cent to start my business or have anything to do with my business.
I'm a fucking rapper. Like, do you think when I told my parents, like, I didn't even tell them, they just listened to the first song. Like, I remember that. It was like a joke. Like, do you like if I asked them for money to like for a podcast or a fucking rap, like, do you think they would get like they wouldn't give me $20? No. Like, I wouldn't want them to, right? Like, and my parents are great. Like, you know, I fucking love my family, but But at the end of the day, I mean, some people live in a fake world and some people live in reality.
Dude, I think when you start from nothing, when you start from zero, I mean literally $0 that I've started from and you've started from, like people like us just really realize like the value of a dollar and how hard it is to get there, you know? Making money's fucking hard, dude. It's hard. Like the idea
Beware of people who say it's easy.
Yeah, like the idea is simple, you know, making money like we just talked about. It's simple.
Doesn't mean it's not hard.
But like getting like the money out of your pocket and put it in my pocket, that's tough. That's really tough.
Yep.
So like people that started from ground zero like us, you know, we appreciate money that much more and we're going to work that much harder than like a kid that gets like $100,000 investment from his parents and just make shit, you know. They go under in a few months. Like I could happily say I've been in business for 6 years by myself just because I realized, you know, I can't blow money.
And we're not saying that like we didn't get nothing. Like obviously like we
Oh yeah, I can't thank my parents enough for everything they've done.
Thing,
like,
right?
From like,
but it's not. But they didn't. We didn't ask them to invest in our businesses, nor did we take any money from them for that. Like, and obviously the life shit, like they helped us our entire lives.
Yeah,
getting
of
us
course,
to the point
of
we're
course,
at.
yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be able to even do this podcast here. But I have my own apartment. Like, I have my own fucking car. Like, I do the shit. Like, once you, and that's another thing that Gary says too, is like once you pay for everything, you go, fuck, shit is real.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you have all the security and all the comfort, it's really easy to say, I'm going to start this business.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just say, I'm going to start it,
and
or they start the thing, they make the fucking Facebook page, but then it's like, for you, it was like the business and the Facebook page and the customer. It was like all at the same time.
Yeah.
For other people, it's like, oh, I'll just make the Facebook page and then hope shit happens.
Yeah.
Like,
that's not how it works. Like
people have to feed it. That's what I've been on this podcast, and that's how you know. That's what you know from your business too, is recurring customers. Like,
that's
and
tough.
then friends of friends, like their friends, you know, trying to, you know, hopefully they go to you. But that's what I realized with this podcast of like, you're gonna feed this episode. Like, I'm really not. Like, I'm gonna put out the content for you.
Right.
But people who want to listen to you are gonna watch this episode.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And I'm just here to facilitate.
Yeah, definitely. And that's another thing too. I'm having a problem with is like the reoccurring customers. I probably have like, I don't know. I probably hear from like 50. Over a 6-year period, I probably have like 50 customers like I keep going back to. But you know, I've had, like, looking at my numbers and books, probably like over 1,000 different customers.
Yeah.
And that's my problem, is having repeat business. Because sometimes it's just a one-time thing. You know, like car's dirty, better get it done. So I'm trying to start like a subscription service, to where like you buy all your details like at the beginning of the year, and then, you know, you could choose like do weekly wash interior, do every other week, do once a month, every other month thing, just to promote recurring customers or repeat business, which is the best thing. So a subscription service.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Do you ask? Let me ask you this: do you ask the customers that don't come back why? Have you ever like shot them a text or a call or a voicemail or an email?
I don't think it's because I did a shit job or anything.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
it's,
you like. I think they'll be honest with you.
I think it's just because like
they might tell you it's just money or something.
Sometimes it's like a gift. Sometimes it's like, yeah, like so like when I first started, like, you know, my prices were dirt cheap. So, you know,
and they should be when you're
of course, yeah. But then they get a little pricier, and that's like out of people's price ranges. But like, and you're not gonna get the full blown detail that like you used to get for $50. You know, you'll get a wash for $50, which is cool. So that's what I gotta
do. Because I would say that is like, your customers and ex-customers are going to tell you everything you need to know. Like, my small fan base and my followers, like, they're going to tell me everything that I need to know about, you know, and like, they can't tell me what music to make, but they're going to tell me what they like. And it's something that I mentioned in the last podcast too with Mike Anderson. John Mayer, songwriter, brilliant, right?
Great guitarist,
incredible
guitarist.
Like, have you watched the Princeton or not? Yeah, I think it was the Berkeley Music School presentation that he did. Check it out. It's from like 2007. It's like an hour and a half long. He asked a question to the crowd. He was like, if you think the public is dumber than you, raise your hand, right? So like people raise their hand. If you think the public is smarter than you, raise their hand. So some people raise their hand. And he's like, if you said they're dumber than you, you lost already.
That's the thing.
They're all smarter than you. Like, every single person who listens to my music is smarter than me because they know better what they want to listen to than I do.
And that's the reason why businesses die, is because you have an ego, or they don't die, but they won't grow. It's because you have an ego, you don't listen to people. And I've dealt with a few people, and a single individual like that, where it's just like there's no growth in their business for 10 years because of their ego.
Yep.
It's just like off the charts ego, the way they talk to people, the way they speak to people, it's just so uncalled for.
It's like an I'm better thing.
It's disgusting. It makes me literally
dude.
sick to my stomach hearing people talk like that, you know? And it's pretty gross.
Yeah, it gives you a fucking bad taste in your mouth, man. It makes you realize, like, the people who do succeed are the people that give exponential value and expect nothing in return.
Yeah.
And, like, the people that, like you said, the people that, don't do this, but, like, the people that you gave them a gift card and it expires, like, that's what it says, but you still let them use it.
Yeah, if your gift card expires, like, like, it's kind of the expiration date.
As courtesy to the business, don't do that, but, like, if it gets, we understand.
That's kind of like a hurry up, like, let's get this done.
We
you
understand shit
for
happens. So family shit happens. You get in a car, right? Like,
you
have surgery, whatever, right? Like, things happen.
Yeah.
Like, even if you could honestly mean to use it, it's not up to us to decide whether you're a good person or not.
And it's because I'm a small business too. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, if you're like
you
Walmart, if you're like exactly. If you're like Walmart or Costco or Best Buy, whatever, expiration date, that's it.
Yeah.
But like for me, being a small business, like, you gotta cater your customers. Just don't be a dick. Like, really, like, just be a good person.
Tillman Fertitta, I think his name is, the guy who owns the Golden Nugget. In one of my classes, thankfully, we have to read a chapter of his book, and he was on Gary Vee too. I've watched a lot of podcasts with him, but it's the thing of, like, if it's 11:05 and you're in a hotel and breakfast ends at 11, still make the omelet.
Right.
Like, if it's 11:30, make it.
Yeah.
12, fucking, you slept in, right? But, like, half an hour, like, they're gonna come back if you make it.
Yeah.
And if you don't make it, they're not gonna. So, what the fuck it's just this rule thing. And then even if you're the person that has to make that decision, and then you have to tell somebody higher than you that you have to make it, if you try to justify it to them and they don't understand, then you have to go work at a different hotel. Like, it's like...
It's just like
that
little...
hotel's never gonna make money.
It's little things like that, like... I'll check my customers, like, tire pressure, stuff like that. Be like, hey, his tire's low, I'll fill it up. If it goes low again, go,
Yeah, like, hey, you should probably patch that or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. It's just like little things like that. Being a small business, like, you can't do shit like that. Like, you gotta provide the most value as you can to your customers.
I haven't sent a ton of clothing out, but I've sent clothing. And when I send clothing, you're getting a business card with a personalized note. You're getting... I won't tell you what it is because you got to buy some BOP merch, but you're getting a little something from me that, you don't know you're going to get. And that's just part of the experience. Like, because if I ordered something and I got a little something that I didn't know I was going to get, how much happier would that make me?
Yeah.
Because then you're thinking about the person.
Right.
And, like, it's Gary Vee with the Jets jersey. The dude that he bought the Jets jersey for didn't buy any more wine. But he told his friend. And then his friend bought 50 cases or whatever.
Dude, I got this one company, like, this one supplier I use, Detail King. They're out in, like, PA, small business, mom and pa, big online, detailing supply store. I ordered a part for, like, my polisher when it broke. They called me the next day, like, hey, you get the part? Like, did you get it fixed? Everything good? I'm like, you guys are calling me for this? Like, this is sick. Like, that's incredible business practice. And, like, they called me, like, 2 days later, like, hey, still everything good? Can we do anything else for you? It's like, geez, okay.
You're always going to be, even if the part's $5 more, you're probably going to go to them,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, definitely. Like, even, like, after a job, like, I want to make sure I do a great job for my customers. Everybody's satisfied. You have any problems, I'll be more than happy to come fix whatever. The problem is on your vehicle, if I missed a spot or, I think I could do something a little bit better, I'll come take care of it. But I try to call my customers the day after as much as I can. And, like, I can't tell you how much, like, appreciation and gratitude customers have because
Extra
I call,
mile, man.
I call them and, like, I'm like, hey, how's car looking? Like, everything cool? I didn't break anything, right?
Yeah.
Like,
make sure it's all
didn't
good.
kill your battery, whatever. Because I've had stuff like that happen.
Yeah.
I mean, But you just check up on your customers and make sure everything's cool.
Extra mile, man. Just a little bit. And like, what does it take for you? It takes a couple minutes.
Not even 30 seconds calling. Hey, everything good? Yeah, thanks so much for calling.
Busy. They're busy.
Hang
they're
up.
just okay.
Yep.
Like they're like, all right, good. Yeah, he let me know.
And people
Dang.
people are ecstatic when I call them and check up on them, and I do a great job, and they can't say enough.
Phone calls
things.
magic for people who don't know.
It is.
Phone calls fucking magic in this culture of messaging and texting.
Yep.
Do you give somebody
I hate texting.
FaceTime or a phone call? Yeah, texting sucks, but like you give somebody a FaceTime or a phone call or something like. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what I do, if I'm on a sales call for the company that I work for, like, I want, like, my best case scenario is I'm on a it's not FaceTime, but Zoom, Skype, whatever it might be, I'm on I see you. I want to see you or I want to hear you.
Right.
Right? Yeah, it's, like, that's the best ROI. Because
Definitely.
I'm going to understand you then.
Right.
Over a message, I'm going to take shit personally that you didn't even mean.
Yeah, like you can't like understand like sarcasm and like you can't.
It doesn't translate.
No, you don't know people's tone like when they're talking over text. So calling is definitely the best way to go. I hate texting customers, but I mean if they text me, then yeah, I'm gonna text them back. But if it's like something serious,
it's convenience. It's 10 times more convenient for sure.
Yeah, but if it's like something, whatever's convenient for my customers. But if it's like something serious, then I'm gonna be like, hey, pick up the phone, call me. Well, let's discuss.
If I text more than 2 sentences, fucking call.
Yeah.
And, and I understand, like, if you're in a meeting, if you're in a class, or you're in this or that, like, then you can't. But if you're at Access, like, I usually work from home, and if I'm working from home, I tell people, hey, listen, I'm working from home today. Like, you can call me.
Yeah.
I don't sell anything. I've done a lot of different sales and shit. Like, I don't sell anything unless you can get on the phone. I don't even want to sell it to you. Mm-hmm. Like, if you allow me to sell it to you over the gram or over a text, I don't even want to sell it to you.
That's the thing, man.
I won't even get you set up.
I don't sell anything. Mm-hmm. My customers come to me because they see value. Fact. I sell nothing.
Yeah.
I market.
If you have to convince them, you're already...
No.
Go somewhere else.
Exactly.
It should be obvious.
There's no... Yeah.
And I talked to a guy, he actually worked with AI at Microsoft. Mm-hmm. He basically developed the software at Microsoft, to him and like a lot like developers, but to pin down companies that they thought their software could work with. So it was like a Microsoft campaign internally. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about being a VC and investing in companies. Mm-hmm. And, he's like, I did that for a few years. I worked in a lot of finance. But he's like, the number one thing, because I work for a startup, so a marketing startup, so we're always asking. Mm-hmm. But I was like, what's the thing that these companies need to make sure of? And the number one thing most of the time is make sure it's obvious what you do. Mm-hmm. Make sure there's focus. And make sure your team represents that. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times people are like, yeah, we do this. Oh, we also do this on the side. And we also, like, if you were like, hey, I'll detail, but I also do a little bit of breaks here and a little bit, like, it wouldn't be obvious what it takes away from the main thing, right?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Be focused.
Yeah.
Fucking number one, man. Gary
That's
V,
number
baby.
one. Gary V. That was great today. It was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun, man. I'm just, shout out to you, man, for like, I wouldn't have been there without you, bro. That was sick.
Yeah, I got the
Honestly,
text.
this craziest shit for people who are listening, like, fucking me and Derek haven't talked, like, we've talked and replied to each other's stories and stuff, but like, that's about it. Like, we haven't even texted each other or anything. No. Like, I just had your number randomly for some reason.
Yeah,
but
yeah. It's probably from the soccer days or something like that.
Probably from, like, old time, like, back in the day. But that's it, folks. Like, make sure, like, on a connection level, just, like, don't forget about people, man. Like, people are for real.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, that's, like, one thing my dad always told me is, like, there's bullies in high school and, like, in college. But, like, you never know who you see down the road. If I was a dick to you back in soccer, back in high school, you'd probably be like, no, fuck that kid. Like, he was a dick to me in high school.
Dude, I fucking judged you, too. I judged, like, going back, like, I judged the shit out of you of, like, working on these, Derek Frey thinks he's working on these he's detailing, he fucking made the shit, right? Like, it's not true. You run a real business, man.
Yeah,
like,
dude, it's legit.
Like, we can make up all the stories we want. And, like, that's an important, I just wanted to say that as an aside, but that's a very important point you made is, you never know where people are going to get.
That's one thing my dad always told me.
No idea.
You never know who's going to be who.
Who's going to be your boss, who you're going to be interviewing for, and it's the fucking guy you were a dick to in high school.
You never know who you're going to run into down the road and who's going to be your next customer client. I have kids like I went to high school with that are like my customers. I was like always cool with everybody, I never made enemies. I never want to make bro. I never want to make enemies ever, but like I don't know, just
be the bigger person, I think.
Dude, that's the thing is like just,
what I try to
you know,
do.
let people eat and feed and just like take digs at you and like no
It's
matter
all a reflection on them, man.
no exactly like you being the bigger person, like you're at the end of the day you're always gonna win. Like it doesn't matter much how much money like a customer has or like these guys with cars have. Like at the end of the day, like you're just gonna surpass them eventually, and you're just gonna fucking win, dude.
Yep.
Like you're just gonna win by being the bigger person, sitting back, take shit from them, and just chill, you know. Like let them have their like their fits, whatever.
Yeah.
But like just be the bigger person.
I'm not gonna stop them.
No.
And like I'm done giving people like I've had people that we went to high school with send me their music, and I'm not a fucking like I'm literally. Like, I'm just, you guys know where I'm at.
You're Sully Bop.
I'm Sully Bop. You guys know where I'm at. Like, I didn't fucking make it yet. We're getting there. I mean, I'm going to. But, like, you know, there's levels to the shit, obviously. But I've had people come to me who are, you know, maybe they just wrote a few songs, right? What am I supposed to do for you? Like, I just don't understand.
What do they
like,
want?
am I, like, send me their lyrics.
Oh.
Hey, can you check these out? What does that fucking mean? I don't know what that means.
If we're getting on the music,
like and you make music too, yeah. So you
so I'm in a band, Sister Salvation. Quick plug there. We're
shout out. I'll put it in the show notes, ladies and gentlemen.
Joe Amabile. He was my football coach in 4th grade. Awesome dude, awesome singer. His son Joe Jr., great drummer, great dude as well. All great guys in the band. Graduated with his son Matt, also a great kid. Just great family, great band I'm in. Guitarist Jeff, will plug him too. Great guys.
Shout out Jeff,
great.
the homie.
Yeah, so we're playing with him, but like back to lyrics, like don't have people check your lyrics. Like lyrics are like what just like comes out of you, you know? It's like what you feel, dude. Like music is like you just gotta feel it. You know, it's all about you. Like you can't have people checking this stuff.
That's what I was like, I can tell you I would and they send me the lyrics and I say, hey, come back to me in a year. Do you know the percentage of them that come back to me in a year?
Nobody.
Zero.
Nobody. Because they probably gave up already.
Zero, bro.
They gave up.
And I know artists who were good as fuck who gave up. They didn't give... Do you know why? Because they found another thing that fueled them that they made a fucking $100,000 from.
Yeah.
You know? Like...
But they're not happy probably though, right?
Some of them
are they happy?
See... I'm going to shout out my friend fucking Mike Anderson right now. This dude literally had, like, open for Fabulous, like, open for people. Like, he did the grind shit. He had more plays than I ever have right now. Like, he did the shit, and then he saw somebody. He saw an artist make it, right? And he saw a businessman make it. And he saw the business, the marketing, and he said, I can do that. When he looked at the artist, he didn't have that same logic.
Right.
When he looked at the business, it was very clear to him.
Right.
He took the business, now he quit his job, and he owns a marketing agency. So he doesn't make music anymore. He can always go back to it.
Yeah.
So like might not be for you, but if you feel it, fucking keep doing it, right? But like
that's the thing about music is like
and this shit is so flexible. Like I can't tell people what to do. Like I can't tell them to do one thing or not do another thing. Like you really have to go on the feel. Like for me, it's obvious. Music feels great. I do it. I'm pretty good at it now. I worked a lot. Podcast feels good. I don't have to do much. I sit here and talk.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a little better at it than I was at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
But like for you, detailing. You saw it, felt good. I can clean a car. Yeah. Now you detail cars, right? Different than just vacuuming out a car.
Yeah.
But you're good at it.
Yeah, yeah.
So you got to do a little bit of both. What's practical and what do you feel good about?
Like back to the ego thing, like there's always going to be somebody better than you, and you can never think like you're the best.
Yeah, no.
You know, like I'm waiting for that guy.
Use that as inspiration, motivation. Like
yeah, exactly. I'm waiting for that dude that like comes in and like is better than me at detailing. Like I love business. Like I purely like really thoroughly enjoy business.
It's crazy.
And like if I could just be like on the back end of my business running it, which I love doing, like, you know, sounds boring to a lot of people, but I love the computer work. I love like, you know, trying to explore and learn like the social media marketing and like all the marketing aspects of it.
See
you know
what works. Yep.
Yeah. So like I really want someone
that shows you love it though, man. That shows
dude,
you really
I really, really enjoy it. You know,
and
that's
if you could translate, like we were talking about before, if you could translate things that are complex to people to things that's why people hire you. Like for detailing a car, like they kind of know what you're doing. Right. Like with marketing, they like kind of know what I'm doing. But when I come in and say, well, this CPC is going to be, you know, 8% when we start, it's going to be like, that's a little bit too much. Like when you say I'm going to use this type of wax, I'm going to switch to this one and buff here, and like that's just a little bit. Like they know what the end result is. Right. But like in your head, it breaks down so simple.
Yeah, the process to get there is like too complex for like the average person. So like you have to try to like not like dumb it down to be like degrading sounding, but like make it simpler.
No, but then they're an electrician or a plumber or a financial advisor or fucking whatever. That for us, I'm like, that's Chinese.
Yeah, that one understand.
I don't understand that. Oh shit, man, that's so funny. That's like the realness of like the situation. Like basically, just do what you're good at. Hire people to do what they're good at.
Yeah, exactly. You know, just keep trading trade skills.
Yeah, facts, man.
You know, like I don't know everything about mechanics.
I hate how we put the skills in these fucking groups too. Like they're really all the same. Like a physical skill is as much a mental skill. Like you can't be a fucking mental idiot and do physical skills amazingly. Like it just doesn't. It's just a different part of the brain, maybe.
Like these trades and like detailing, it just like becomes second nature to you. Like today, like I was zoning out listening to Gary's podcast, and like I look at my phone, my watch. It's like an hour later. I'm like, oh damn, I didn't know it was like that long. Like you just zone out and like everything just like becomes automatic to you eventually.
Yeah.
And it just like things just happen, and like you know like what product to use on this or like what pad to use on this to polish this out or like how to get the scratch out or whatever.
I can relate it to like brake jobs and shit. Like once you do brake jobs for like 3 years, you're like boom boom, caliper comes
yeah, it takes like 2 seconds.
Boom, boom, grease it, fucking.
I remember it would take me like it would take me like 2 days to do like an interior detail.
You had to think about it.
Yeah, now I could do it like blindfolded, literally. You know, it's a process.
People are paying you. That's the Instagram post that we see all the time. But people are paying you for the years of experience. They're paying you not for the hour, but to get to that hour.
I mean, I've only been in this for like 5 years, and like that's still nothing. There's dudes that have been in it for like 30, 25 years, and like they're just phenomenal. Like what some dudes can do with like you know detailing. Sounds nerdy. Like we're getting the nerdy detailing talk, but like some stuff these guys can do. It's just like crazy. It's like surpasses anything I could do.
Like working under mechanics who have been doing it for like 30, 40 years. Like these guys, like they see a car like rolling. It's like the personal trainer that looks at your body, and just knows what's wrong. Yeah. Like when you like what's the smell? What's the light on? Okay, yeah, I know exactly. Like they can pull the part right there and just put like you don't have to fucking think, man. No. Like you've been around these guys too, and like
of course.
Been around it with the detailing too. It's like nah, man. The years is really crazy.
Yeah, the shop I used to work in, like the one guy there would like work on like old British classic cars, Lotuses, and like he was just phenomenal. Like there's just like the stuff this guy knows is just like off the charts. And it's just become second nature to them just because they know the product so well. And it's pretty crazy, you know, really thinking about it, like what humans do and build when you're just like getting spacey and thinking out there, like just like coming through like the Lincoln Tunnel in the city, and like it's just like the city, like as soon as you get into New York, you're like, this was all built by humans, like. Yeah. This is like high talk, but like still, but like
no facts.
Like when you see like
we had literally a couple wines, like, that was it.
No, but like when you think about it, like what humans do, it's just like insane.
You know what they all are though? Fucking pros. They're professionals, bro. Like, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about pros right now.
Yeah.
We're talking about, and like at this point, and most of the people probably listening to this, because I don't think there's fucking 55-year-olds listening to this. Most of the people listening to this, like. We're not pros yet. We're amateurs.
No.
We might be trying to break out of the amateur. We're like kind of there. Like,
I might think I'm a pro.
There. We're like just we're going to like intermediate from beginner.
Yeah.
Like we're almost at the intermediate.
No, I definitely feel that.
Lucky, bro. And for me, like I switched my fucking jobs the fuck up. Like, I do different shit. Like I didn't do marketing. What the fuck? I didn't do business. Dude, I went to school for like liberal arts.
I have no idea what I'm doing in marketing. I'm just kind of like throwing shit at the fan, at the wall.
And if I went to detail a car, I would be like, okay, I think I'm gonna vacuum it first. Like I don't know what the fuck.
There's a process you follow.
Yeah, there's a process, but you develop that process. And for me, for marketing, like I can look at your ads and tell you exactly why they're not. You know, like why they're not going.
We'll take a look after.
We'll take a look at them. You know, so but I think the moral of the fucking story is just like. Do what feels right to you, and like understand that you're an amateur, and just learn from the pros. do your marketing and hire people that know what the fuck they're doing.
That's why I listen. Like I try.
Yes, and listen, obviously.
I try to listen more than I speak. Like listen to like these guys like with. It's not about the money, but like listen to guys that like have made it and have been successful, and like hearing their stories, like what they've done is just like it's so cool.
Yeah.
And like I think it's the coolest thing ever. Like it's their life, so like they're like, yeah, I did this, this, and this. I'm like, what? That's so sick.
Yeah.
And like people just don't realize it. How much I appreciate
the gravity of it too,
it's
and
crazy.
like making people know, like just letting people know that how much you appreciate it too is huge.
Yeah.
Like when Derek comes to fucking detail your car, like make sure you let him know like this shit is like thank you, brother. Like
Yeah.
and that's what I say to the dude that checks me out at ShopRite, bro. Like I'm like thank you, man, appreciate it.
And that's like the thing
every
about
single time, like. Yeah, we can get into the fucking manners, man. That shit is so important to me.
That's like the thing about like this generation. Like I don't know. I was watching something like every generation has like some like different thing like they do like our generation likes to be praised and say like you're doing a good job and like feel like they're appreciated and like worth something at the job. Meanwhile, like the older generation just wants to show up and just get the job done. Like they don't care about that. Like that's the best feeling in the entire world is when a customer says, great job, everything looks good, and just praises the fuck out of me. I just like, that's my high right there. It feels so good.
I need that. So you don't like, I didn't realize how much I needed that when I went to a job and I didn't get it. Because I always had jobs that were like, dude, thank you so much, like for this, like, thank you, I appreciate it, know, and like give me a little Christmas bonus or something, like just like something that felt like I really belonged there, that I did a good job. Yeah, like I can attest to that. Like I thrive off that praise. I don't think it's a bad thing.
I really, really think like the reason why I like being an entrepreneur and doing what I'm doing is for the gratitude at the end of the day from the customer, because it's a living, my business is a living thing I've created myself, and my customers see the value in my company.
Yep.
And after I do a good job, they just praise the fuck out of it. And it just, that's my high right there. It just feels great knowing I created something that someone just like absolutely loves. Like I had one customer that like, it was a car in the barn that was literally there. It hasn't been registered since like 1990. Pull it out of the barn. She hasn't seen the car. I pull it out, wash it, polish it, everything. And she comes and she just starts crying. Like she just starts bawling her eyes out because she hasn't seen this car clean or in this condition in forever. Like it's more than business.
That emotion is not worth any sort of form of
it's
money.
It's more than business.
More than money.
More than money. Yeah. It's just like
it's priceless is what I'm trying to
great.
say. Yeah.
It's great.
Can't put a price on that.
No, you can't. You really can't. And like I know my customers like couldn't appreciate it enough.
Yeah. I'd say the same thing for the fucking podcast, man. Like, some people you come on, and I'm not talking shit about any. I think anybody who has the balls to come up on here, like, you got balls. Like, it's easy. I mean, it's easy as fuck. Like, I'm doing it right now. Like, it's easy as fuck. But like, people will get in their head about how it's not. But you can tell the people who did it just to spread their shit, and the people who do it for the connection. Like, and that's the same thing. Like. That you just inflicted, you didn't even know it. You just inflicted that emotion. Like if you could engage people's emotions, like you got them, man.
People are emotional, especially nowadays. Man. Especially nowadays, like everyone's emotional about like politics and whatever. Like everything's just so emotional nowadays, emotional based, and just like getting to people's emotions and like it's more than a job, more than a company.
That's what I say when I DJ, and there's a little girl. And she said, hey, she looks up at me. She's like 8 years old or something.
Can you play Taylor Swift?
Can you play Taylor Swift? And I say, I got you, girl. Next song. Right. I got you.
And she's out there.
I was like, I love that.
Feeling herself.
I love that. I love that Katy Perry, like, Roar song, right? I was like, that's my favorite. I love that song, right? And I put that on for her. She is so, like, or I'm at a wedding. It's the mother and the son dancing together. They're crying, looking at me. And it's only 30 seconds into the fucking song. I don't cry a lot.
You don't know what to say. Just speechless.
There's tears are forming. Like, this is my job. I'm just doing my job. And at that point, it's more than the tip. It's more than the playlist. It's more than the job. It's more than DJing. It's more than putting the right song on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's that moment.
Yeah.
And that fucking moment is it's crazy. It's fucking crazy, man. It's the reason. Then you realize that's the reason.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Keep doing it for those moments, man. They're not going to happen all the time, but when they do, it's going to be really worth it.
Definitely. I've had a few jobs that were like that, where it's like, you know, their mother's car that passed away, or their husband's car that passed away, and you do them, and it's just like seeing them like pretty again is just amazing.
I remember like the same thing of like getting the car running.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting the car running, and then they're gonna go to you to detail it, right? And like just wow, like we haven't since he passed, like we haven't had this car running, right? So like yeah, or we haven't seen this car in this condition. Pulling the cars out of the barn, I feel you, man.
No, I know all about that. And like same thing with, like you were saying, with music, like you feel good like performing, like, oh my god, when I'm on stage, that's where I live.
Yes, dude.
Like,
and don't you get addicted to it, because the first few times it's like, oh, I'm so nervous. Like, no, everybody wants you to do really good. They don't want to see you do bad at all. If you do bad, they're pissed off. Like, make them happy and do good.
Yeah.
Right?
But I mean, like, I've been performing since I was in 5th grade. Kingwood School, we had, I mean, I can't thank this guy enough. Mr. White at Kingwood School really got me into playing music. And at a young age, I was playing in front of my whole entire school for my whole middle school 5th to 8th grade career. And then just performing just came natural after that. Like, even my first performance was just like, I don't know, it's just natural because you're in front of all your friends. You're just having a good time. And then, like, that just grows into, like, playing bigger and bigger audiences. And then, like, now I'm playing in front of, like, 1,000 people, 2,000 people.
That's crazy.
And you hop up there and, like, I swear to God, something just comes over you, comes into you, and you're just, like, you're just in the zone. And it's just the best high, best drug in the entire world is playing music.
Yeah.
Or, like,
performing,
people,
being in front of people, yeah.
And then, like, the emotion, like, see people dancing and, like, singing to your songs that you wrote, singing to your songs, coolest thing ever.
That's great.
Coolest thing
right?
ever.
No, I like, the first time I was fucked, dude. I was, like, in high school, right? Like, shout out to Sarah Dallin, who wanted me to play background guitar.
Great singer.
Dude, she's fantastic, so talented. Oh, my God. So talented. And shout out to her for having me play some background guitar for her in high school. First time me, like, being in front of people and playing an instrument. And then rapping. I probably rapped in front of people a lot now, so I'm kind of, like, a little bit used to that now. But, like, exactly. On the third time the chorus comes around for me, like, and people are saying it, and my boy in the background who's hosting the event with the mic is saying the shit, I'm like, and the drummer's playing, like, I'm like, this is, like, there's
it's
nothing like this, man.
It's
like,
really cool.
God damn.
Like, hearing people sing your songs is, like, the coolest thing ever. Like, I had this band, The Robbers, like...
That's the one I remember seeing a lot of.
Like, last year, like, I was singing and writing a lot of music. We were all writing music together. And, like, now we're, like, bringing one of our songs into my new band, playing with Sister Salvation, playing bass. And, like, even just singing, like, hearing, like, Joe Amabile, like, sing my song. And, like, all these guys playing my song is just, like, so cool.
Yeah.
It's, like, super cool.
It's like your vision, like, became reality. So, like, you're like, what you felt and what you put on the paper, now, like, you can see physically people do it.
Yeah.
It's a different thing, man, than anything.
Super cool.
Shit, man. I'm glad we talked about that, too. I didn't know if we were going to get to the music, man. But that's, like,
I love music. Music's my thing, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, if I could play music for the rest of my life, that's, like, what I would love to do. Like,
I think I'm starting to come to that realization. Like, even if I have to sit in a studio and, like, fucking, like, be a tracking engineer, be a recording engineer, or, like, just play my shit on the weekends at bars, or, like, rap for people at random places, like, in open mics, like, even that, like, that's fucking fine with me.
It's cool. Like, open mic, like, I've played in front of, like, 3 people at an open mic, and I played in front of 2,000 people on a stage, and, both feel almost the same, really. The audience doesn't matter. Like, you get that feeling either way.
You're in the zone.
When you get in the zone, it's dangerous. It's really dangerous because, like, you just, like, lose control and...
Just let it happen, though.
Like, you're so high.
I'm going to use a country singer right now. Quote, lay back. His name's Sturgill Simpson. Said, lay back, let it happen, remember to breathe. That's it, man. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Fucking breathe, stay alive, and just lay back and let shit happen, man. Like, that's what we do on stage. You're not even remembering shit. You're just like,
dude, I don't remember anything.
Dun, dun, dun,
like, it happens so quick. You get off the stage, you're like,
you don't remember the thing like, you just did, man.
What did I just do? Like, you hop off stage, everyone's cheering, and you're like, don't remember any of that.
Yep, me either.
Don't remember any of that.
Same, man. Same. And like the first couple times, you're like, you just think like, oh my god, that was fucking like terrible. Like that was so bad. Like you're just like in your head about it.
Time goes by, like stupid quick.
Once you get comfortable, once you get okay with it, like yeah, it's fucking nothing, man.
Yeah.
Man, we've been going for like almost an hour, basically an hour right now.
It was an hour?
Yeah, how much did that feel like 15 minutes?
That was literally like 20 minutes.
That's what I'm saying, boy. Podcast. Nobody knows this shit. I know you got to get out of here, though.
BOPCAST,
6:45.
what time is it? Oh, sorry.
That's what I'm saying, cool. Man.
Dang,
okay, so the shit just happens, but where can people find you, Derek Frey?
You could find me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok now. At Derek Frey, DerekFrey, my personal account. And then you can follow my business page on all platforms. Precision Care Detailing. If you need your car squeaky clean before the winter, before the salt, during the salt, after the salt, any time of year, I'm your guy.
He does
Precision
it all,
Care
folks.
Detailing. I do it all year round. Let's grind. Let's hustle. Let's get this shit done. Stay patient.
Let's do it.
Be motivated.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Anytime, man. This is a pod.
I'll see you later. Like Cheers to everyone out there.
Cheers, ladies
go
and
to
gentlemen.
Wine Library. Watch Gary Vee.
Yeah. Get your shit together as well. And we're all doing this at the same time. But folks, you know my spiel, my typical. I have to spit it for you. Please feel free to log off right now. If not, then just stick with me for a minute. We are on every single podcast platform. That's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, everywhere that podcasts are found. Spotify as well. The music is everywhere. Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Apple Music. Yep, you know where to find it. All the links are in the description, as well as Precision Care Detailing. All in the description as well. Derek Frey's business as well as his personal page. So don't forget that. Make sure to throw him a follow. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for another episode of BOPCAST. This has been Derek Frey.
And one more thing. I know my mom, my dad, my grandma, everyone's going to watch. I apologize for the cursing. I'm going to get yelled at for that.
I don't apologize for the cursing, but yeah, man, make a podcast, bro. You're good at this shit.
Let's do it.
But thanks, folks. Thank you for Derek for coming on, as well as his family, if you're watching right now, for watching this. Make sure to check out the other episodes. We got some cool people. We got Matt Gorduke on. We got Mike Anderson. We got fucking Clay Terry. We got all the OGs in the latest episode. So thanks again, folks. This has been BOPCAST. Another episode for you.
Peace.
Peace.